everyone. This is John Wenk back with you again for Winner Go Home podcast to break down the other national semifinal between the Michigan Wolverines and the Syracuse Orange. Each team enters the Final Four as a 4 seed, and this is actually going to be the first time 2 4 seeds have matched up in the tournament in a semifinal game. We're looking at basically a game between arguably the nation's top offense in Michigan, led by the AP Player of the Year, point guard Trey Burke, against a team that many feel is playing the best defense in the country in Syracuse. Everyone knows about their vaunted 2-3 zone, and they play with a high intensity chemistry on the defensive side of the ball. They actually held Marquette in the Elite Eight game to 39 points, which is just unheard of. They're long and athletic, and their zone is just tough to penetrate. So we'll see how Michigan can counter that and score points, unlike Marquette. The last time Syracuse was in the Final Four was 2003. That team was led by Carmelo Anthony. He was a one-and-done guy. He won his national title and then went straight to the league. That was a good team. They had point guard Jerry McNamara, and that was a really good team. Michigan's last Final Four appearance was in 1993. This was the Fab Five era, and it was the second of 2 national title games that Fab Five team went to, 1992 and 1993, and they lost in the finals to North Carolina in 1993. That was the game where Chris Webber called a timeout at the end when the team didn't have any timeouts remaining and received a technical foul, and that was pretty much the icing on the cake for the Fab Five era, not in a good way. It was pretty disappointing, all that talent and no national titles. Another interesting fact in this matchup is that Jim Boeheim, coach of Cuse, is 9-0 against John Beilein coach teams. Boeheim is the type of coach, it seems like he's been at Syracuse forever, he's been around forever, and he's really one of college basketball's wizards. No doubt about him getting into the Hall of Fame one day. Beilein has previous coaching stints at Richmond and West Virginia before landing at Michigan. These are 2 extremely talented teams. Both were ranked in the top 10 preseason polls. But each team, while they had very strong regular seasons, they both went through lulls kind of at certain times in the year. Michigan, they were in out of the Big Ten, which is a tough conference, of course, with Ohio State and their in-state rival Michigan State. And Syracuse really didn't play that well down the stretch. They made the Big East Finals, losing to Louisville, but prior to the tournament, they hit a little skid too, and there were some doubts entering the tournament. As mentioned before, it's all about defense with Syracuse and the 2-3 zone. And I think the key to the game is going to be how the guard play of Michigan goes up against this zone. Trey Burke, he's as complete a point guard as you're going to see in the college game. He's a great scorer as well as a great contributor. So we'll see how he penetrates the zone, how he gets his teammates involved, and basically the 2-3 zone. It could play into the hands of Michigan if they can shoot the 3 like they did in their Elite Eight game, where Nick Stauskas, the Canadian kid, went 6 for 6 from behind the arc. He was unconscious from 3, and he had 22 points in that game. So that's going to be a key. Like I said, it could play into Michigan's hands. They're a strong 3-point shooting team. And the key for Syracuse on their offense is they got a pretty good point guard themselves in Michael Carter-Williams. We're looking at 2 of the best point guards in the country in Carter-Williams and Burke. So we'll see how those two point guards could lead their teams in this game. I think the team that gets better guard play is going to win this game. Michigan, being the top offensive team in the nation that a lot of people feel they are, they got playmakers in their lineup. Junior Tim Hardaway Jr., all Knick fans know about this guy's father. They remember the elder Tim Hardaway with the Heat in the late 90s, early 2000s. I couldn't stand the guy. Everything about the Heat, even back then, just irked me. Tim Hardaway, the older one, the father, I always looked at him as Alonzo Mourning's little sidekick. So I'm definitely rooting for Syracuse. I'd love to see Boeheim get another national title, but I don't know if they haven't played an offense like Michigan. So this is a really intriguing matchup. Michigan comes off their Elite Eight rout of Florida. They won 79-59. It wasn't even a game, really. They're going to have their hands full with Syracuse's defense. They haven't seen a long, athletic defense like Syracuse has. But ultimately, I feel that the offense is going to prevail over defense, which isn't always the case. But I got Michigan playing on Monday night in the national title game. I think Louisville is going to win their game. Those are my predictions. I got Louisville over Wichita State, and I have Michigan over Syracuse. I know Dan Maff's not going to be happy about that, but that's how I see it playing out. I don't think we're going to see an all Big East national title game, and I think we're in for a doozy in this national semifinal, as well as the national title game Monday night. Enjoy the games tomorrow, and I will be back for a preview of Monday night's national title game. Take care, everyone.